You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire tourism community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are
Road Break.
How's every single one of you, family? This is one of the Fridays that I kind of wish that this show will be on a Tuesday, because this absolutely blows. The amount of the load was this big. Absolutely terrible. Not anything good. Can I actually get behind something? No.
We started out with Bayley and Sasha. That was a pretty decent match. It obviously wasn't as good as Hell in a Cell. Nobody thought it would be. And the ending to the match sucked. And that's the only good thing on SmackDown right now.
Yeah.
And then you got everything with Roman and Jey Uso was so bad it made Eddie Kingston and John Moxley seem like a Academy Award winning movie.
Yeah, and
their stuff was so bad. This whole Roman thing is awful.
Tomorrow, like you said, like Jean-Paul just mentioned, AEW full gear. All the coverage, all the reviews right there. Every single move, every single match. We're kind of excited. Like Jean-Paul says, I'm kind of feeling positive. For the show. So let's hope it's a good pay-per-view. But before that, don't forget, to check out the NXT UK review. A kid to the finals of the Heritage Cup. We always cover this show, and he's always better. It's the best show in the WWE, only 1 hour, and also best matches. We're always excited to talk about this show, so don't forget to check that out. A kid, we're just complaining about how much he only has submission holds. Can he ever get a finisher, Jean-Paul?
Yeah, but we'll see. Maybe he'll save it for the finals.
Hopefully, he gets that, like you said, during the finals. So let's don't forget to check that out, family. But other than that, SmackDown, Jean-Paul started out, like you said, with a title match. Started out with Sasha Banks and Bayley. So this match was pretty good, like you said. Most of the match was pretty great. She came out, and then Jean-Paul always says, you catch the show a little, maybe 2 minutes of delay, because I'm did Sasha get her entrance? Yes, she did. According to the picture, yes, she did, because I actually caught it when they were having the video package of the whole rivalry, which it was really good. I really enjoyed the rivalry these two had, and then we got a thing of Bayley. She's kind of saying that she's going to end up Sasha's, this short title reign that she had, and she's happy that she beat her with a chair. So, let's go to the match, Jean-Paul. The match, like you said, we've seen this a few times already, in NXT. A little bit of the same, but good still, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of good spots. I like the Meteoras, especially on the outside and stuff. There was a lot of intensity, but it couldn't have been as intense as Hell in the Cell.
Yeah,
that was a no DQ. Obviously, it was Hell in a Cell. It doesn't get more extreme than that, or at least it shouldn't. And this was just a normal match, and it was long, which I thought it should be. These women deserve to have a pretty long title match, but it's following something that was so legit. You're not gonna live up to it. There was no point to have this. This was only done to solidify Sasha Banks, because she always loses in her title defense. I don't think she's had a successful one yet. So this was just the first one to solidify her, to be oh, you beat Bayley. Bayley's legit. She held the title for over a year. And it was to pretty much just get her to the next program, which is, who attacked her after the match.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like you said, see, there was a try for the candlestick. I really like, like you said, the intensity. But, coming out from Hell in a Cell is not something that is easy to top. Maybe, Jean-Paul, maybe this would have been the main event. I would have been more excited about it, because just the first match is when you're just warming up. Hey, I'm sitting and getting comfortable, and I'm going to start the show, and they were already giving me this. So maybe that's what I wasn't too much into this. But regardless of that, I really like how Sasha kicked out of the Bayley to Bayley and the elbow. So you can see what?
Oh yeah, and I like that when she hit the backstabber, and then she hit the belly to belly. That was a good spot. Yeah.
Yes, I like Bayley. Had a really good spots during the match. Like you said, she even did the bang statement also. So right there, bang statement to Sasha, trying to kind of go old school and make her submit with Sasha's own move. So that was really good. But then, like you said, Jean-Paul, pretty much Sasha reverses that, and bang statement, and this time Bayley taps really, really quick, and she retains her championship, something that, like you said before, she hasn't done pretty much ever. So she's really happy about it. I really think that the result was good, like you said. Sasha needed this, but like you said, this pretty much I think ends this program, and then right away we go to the next one. just because I guess they feel that like this is done. And I think that like Bayley needs to be away. Like I said to you, she doesn't need to be on SmackDown every single show. She needs a break. So Sasha's right there. But then Jean Paul, she gets surprised by a super kick by Carmella. So what did you think about this?
Well, they were building up Carmella. I mean, it makes sense because there's no other legit woman on SmackDown, I would say, besides Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair's whole thing is she's probably going to be the woman who's going to win the Royal Rumble. I feel like that's almost certain at this point. So they're saving her for that. They're not going to put her in any title feud before, she wins the Royal Rumble and then calls her shot. So this should be a good feud for Sasha. I hope she wins. I mean, now that looks kind of shitty for Carmella coming back, and then you lose your first program. But I mean, I guess they wanted to fast track her to the women's title picture because of what I said. The only two legit women they have on there besides Bayley and Sasha are Carmella. And I don't even know how legit she is, to be honest. And then Bianca Belair. So they don't have many options.
And Bianca is already in the Survivor Series team.
Yes.
So exactly. She cannot be doing double duty that day because it's just Bianca is brand new for like everybody else that don't watch NXT. And the ones that like pretty much barely saw her on Monday Night Raw. So like Carmella is more known, and like you said, this Emelina thing that they're trying to do with her, they have to put it in the title picture right away just because she's going to lose anyway. Because nobody really thinks that Carmella is going to be champion, like after this thing with Sasha. So that was a good, like, first two segments, we will say, up from, like, the beginning of SmackDown. At least that was the best part of the show. Yes. I can really tell you that. Then we go Jean Paul to, like, Jey Uso. And Jey Uso is, like, talking with, like, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens like, hey, man, just came to check on you. How's it going? And he's like, so... And you can see Jean Paul, the American Dream t-shirt. So is he trying to, like, send a message to Cody or AEW or something? I just don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, so like they were talking about, hey, I'm checking for you. Like, we're gonna be teammates in the Survivor Series team. What's going on? Like, are you okay? And he's like, so I'm not okay. Yeah, the whole thing with the family. So like, we pretty much they set up what, Jean Paul? They set up a match for the main event. At the end of the night. So I mean, do they need to do this? I just don't like it. It's not interesting because again,
no, but they're building towards the Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns feud. At least that's what a lot of people say. I think Kevin Owens should be, that should be the feud, but then Kevin Owens should be the one at the end to beat Roman for the title. I think that would be really cool to finally get Kevin Owens over, make him look legit. But to me, Jay just looks like an idiot in all this. He looks like an idiot, like a pussy. He's whipped, because he's cutting this. Was that when he was cutting the promo and then Heyman came in?
No,
that was later on. That was later on because I'm he just the whole night he looked like an idiot.
Yeah, and calling everybody ooze again.
Yeah, because Kevin Owens even said to him, is this what really you want to do or what Roman wants to do? Like, do you even, because Kevin Owens is like, I'm my own man, I do my own thing, and he's just like, oh, so yeah, it was just bad.
It was just bad. Yeah, exactly. So Jean Paul, I want your thoughts really quick on this, Jean Paul. Like, Survivor Series is going to be like the final farewell for The Undertaker. So they're not going to do anything at WrestleMania, it seems, because a lot of people are speculating.
That's what they say, but again, this is wrestling, and it is sometimes they do like to keep kayfabe. It could be, this is the final farewell, and maybe a storyline gets started here, and then he can't end it now. We wanted to end it, but somebody started a feud, so now we got to keep it going. Yes. It could be something like that, where like this is the planned. Final farewell.
But of course, like Taker said in the last ride, he's like, like Vince, we need you,
exactly.
Exactly. So, that's the segment that you're talking about. He was cutting a promo, or like he was being interviewed by Kayla Braxton, and then came and he says, the family is forever, and that's why he did what he did to Daniel Bryan. But then Paul Heyman comes out and he's like, hey, Tribal Chief didn't authorize this interview. So, like, of course, Jay goes, so you see, like, pretty much how Roman is manipulating or controlling Jey Uso. So this sucks to me. Again, this is not a good storyline for me, Jean Paul. I don't know. You already said you don't like it, so I'm like, just like, like, how can you go from, like, doing your own thing to, like, being, controlled by Roman Reigns? I just... No.
And just the way he sells it, he was like, I'm part of you, Uso, I'm legit, I'm going to be part of the family, you're the head of the table. Then he shouldn't try to be his own guy. He should be hanging around with Roman 24/7. He should be like Roman's like bodyguard almost.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Instead of like, it's just awkward. It's like he's still trying to do his own thing, but they're like, remember Roman owns your ass, and he's like, oh yeah,
it's like he wants to live, but like, oh yeah. like that, I lost the Hell in a Cell, I kind of like that. So it doesn't really, I don't really like it. And Heyman involved, I already told you, there's no reason because
Heyman is so bad at this.
Talking for Roman, and that's the only thing, for example, that Heyman did for Brock Lesnar is just the talking. Like not even helping with winning matches every now and then, but that's it. Something like is getting even more awkward, or like we don't really want to see more of this. Is Rey Mysterio? Rey Mysterio's on the phone.
This is bad.
Rey Mysterio's trying to call Ilja, and Ilja's not picking up, and then Dominic comes out. He's like, "Hey, Dad, your match is next. Where's your gear? Like, are you gonna be legit? What the hell? What's going on?" And he's like, "Hey, just go get your sister, make sure like she's all right, or like go see her and something." And then Baron Corbin attacks him right away, and and Rey's like done because they were gonna have a qualifying match to make the team on Survivor Series, and then that's it, Jean-Paul. I don't like this at all either.
Yeah, this the storyline. It was to me. It should have been done at the draft. You had a perfect opportunity. Keep the Mysterios on Raw, move Seth to SmackDown, or vice versa. Instead, they moved them both to SmackDown to keep the storyline going. They finally pulled the trigger on the Aaliyah and Buddy Murphy romance, and it's just awkward. Nobody wants to do this storyline. You can tell Rey doesn't really want to do it, or at least he's not selling it too well anymore. Same thing with Dominic. Aaliyah's not the best actor. Nobody in this is convincing in their role. And, Rey, go Dominic, go get my gear. Like, really, you're a how many year veteran, you're not changed, legit for your match, and then he wrestles in the freaking track pants and the t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. So that was bad. So that was before the match. We got a little segment, and then we go to another segment with Roman and Jay. Like Jean Paul says, like this show pretty much evolves always on Roman. Therefore, what does that mean? Absolutely sucks.
Yep.
Roman goes like, hey, every time that you do an interview, you got to request for the permission. Like people that disrespect me, offend me, they got to pay the consequences. And that is what Kevin Owens did. And then he's like, Jay goes to Roman, hey, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And then, Roman goes, I'm really pissed off with Paul, because it's like, make sure that you go to Adam Pearce so we can take care of Kevin Owens. So Jean Paul, again, this is like, why Roman has to have like 3-4 segments in the show and doesn't even wrestle?
And he has authority. What did we say? He's the one he made the stipulation for the Hell in a Cell match. He just called the stipulation. Okay, shouldn't that be an authority figure? He says, "Oh, go get Adam Pearce. I request this match." We didn't see him talking to Adam Pearce. It wasn't like maybe he had Adam Pearce held up against the wall, when he was going to choke him out or something like that. But even then, Roman should be fired. There's no way he should have this kind of control.
All this power just because he's the champion. And, Adam Pearce could be like, hey, you have a match right now. Or you're going to be acting like this. Well, you're going to have a championship match. You got to defend your title.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. He should have one segment in every single show. That's it. Not the whole show always revolves around him. I don't like that. So let's go to like Mysterio and Baron Corbin, like you said right here, Jean Paul. Like Rey Mysterio, like what? In like pretty much sweatpants. Not even like like
shirt. And his merch T-shirt.
Yeah, and the T-shirt that like they sell like outside. If you go to the venue once you ever come back, or like the guys in the Thunderdome, they can still virtually buy those shirts. So like this was like decent at most, because Rey he looked uncomfortable for me fighting in the clothing that he was wearing, Jean Paul. I don't know, but like he looked to me weird when he was fighting with that.
Yeah, it was just the whole thing was awkward, and that's why I don't get it, because it didn't really play into a factor of it either. It wasn't like something got like the pants he got caught up or like whatever, or the shirt got pulled over his face and he couldn't see and that's how he lost. It wasn't anything like that, so I don't know why he couldn't just be in his normal ring attire. But the match, like you said, it wasn't bad, but then of course there had to be some screwy, there had to be some bullshit. It couldn't just be like, let's just put Corbin over clean, because we say, Rey's just, he's preoccupied with everything with Aaliyah and stuff, but because we had to see everybody come down, everybody involved in the storyline.
Oh yeah, like you said, like this was like just like it wasn't good at all. Seth Rollins comes out, like he starts attacking Dominic, like we see all of that, and we also see, like you said, Aaliyah and Murphy coming down right there. Aaliyah kind of also, like, I don't know if you took notice of this, but like she was fixing out her brow or something as she's walking. So like you said, it's not a good actress. Like you said, and we knew that like completely Ray gets all distracted by this because Buddy Murphy, like, kind of like, instead of helping out Ray, turns out to distracting him, and then he gets caught in what, Jean Paul? The end of days, and then 1, 2, 3, and done. 1, 2, 3, and done.
To me, Team SmackDown seems like such a shit. Like there is a Team Raw is. I think they're winning this match.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, look at this. Like that is Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Baron Corbin. They need 2 more members, and one of them is probably going to be Otis because I heard that they're going to have an interaction with Tucker in the Survivor Series, match. So like instead of Otis, well, he also lost today, but I think that like they're gonna have another chance for him. So like this team doesn't look good at all. SmackDown doesn't have any caliber like superstars outside of Seth Rollins.
No, I mean Kevin Owens is there, but they don't build him up. And Jey Uso was finally getting steam, and then they turned him into a little bitch. And Baron Corbin is Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I agree with you. So look, the right example for you, the best couple in the WWE. She's like, hey, you're already fucked up. Let's go. Like you already fucked this up. So like this is what we had. Then we had even an awful match that it was actually worse than that. It's a triple threat once again involving the women to see another spot for like the Survivor Series team, but in this case, like I said, for the females, and that was Natalya, and that was also Selena Vega and Ruby Riott, Jean Paul. This was quick, to the point, really, like, neither one of these girls, I mean, are great wrestlers. Of course, Natalya it is, but their character in WWE is what still, and they just use her to like get matches over, and
there was only 2 things I liked about this match. It was short and Ruby Riott won. Other than that, this match sucked. I'm gonna be honest. This was not. Yeah. I don't know what it is. If it was just Zelina and like if it was just the chemistry of all 3 of them working together or what, but it was just, I don't know. I wasn't into it. It's just the whole storyline with Natalya where it's like, oh yeah, she says how legit she is and then she doesn't lose and she gets frustrated. It's unless you do something with that you're just making the person look like a spoiled loser.
Yes, and also like the one thing I did like is like how Natalya applies the sharpshooter. She was putting the pressure and everything, but like when she thinks that she already made Selena tap out, then Ruby kind of puts another submission.
Yeah, no, it was legit ending. But then that's what I said. Natalya looks like a moron, but like unless you do something with that, and let's say like we do have a feud between these 2, but see, we've already seen these 2 feud.
Yeah. So like,
remember when she was the heel and she was like, "Oh yeah, Jim Neidhart, your dad's dead," and all this stuff.
And they had like a tables match. They had a tables match, and I think it was TLC 2 years ago, 3 years ago. TLC.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. And also, like another thing to look for, to kind of like mention, is that Ruby Riott had a haircut done. She looks different.
Yeah.
So that's what we got, and then she's another member of the girls on the Survivor team for SmackDown, and it's going to be like Ruby Riott. Like you said, maybe in the women's one they might win. They might win, but
I think they will because of Bianca. For sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's what they're going to do. And then, Jean Paul, we go to like a segment with Biggie and, of course, the Street Profits. This is like the part that like the show, I don't really care for. I don't really like.
I zoned out. I'm sorry. I saw Biggie was playing some game or doing something with some chick there, and I'm like, oh, okay, legit. His boys are gone, so now he's gonna pick up chicks. Like, that's legit.
That's what you do. Yes.
Yeah. So, but then the Street Profits came, and they're all just like yelling and screaming. You couldn't even understand or hear anything, and I was just like, okay.
I zoned out. Worse than this, Billy Kay trying to join the Street Profits. I'm like, can I live? This didn't make any sense for me. And, she's like, oh, this is my accolade.
Yeah, she is completely lost.
She needs Peyton Royce bad. More than, she needs Peyton Royce more than what Sean Spears ever will need Peyton Royce. Yeah. So she needs her bad. But, I mean, you get it bad, like Usher will say. She needs it bad. So, no, Jean Paul. Absolutely not. No, again, the show sucks. You'll see in the ratings tomorrow. It's going to be terrible. Mm-hmm. And we go to this, Jean Paul. This was, at least, I was hoping that Otis will win. Like you say, oh, yeah, at least this guy. But, like, also, he seems lost. And I read a report, Jean Paul, that, like, he has lost, Vince McMahon's favor. Like, he's like, oh, he's, again, a normal one, irrelevant. he's ordinary one more time.
Because listen, the storyline of the fat guy getting the hot chick is only funny and only has novelty for so long. How many weeks can you keep cheering that before you're like, oh, okay, I don't care anymore? Because you know he's not legit banging her.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Like, how many weeks are you going to be like, oh yeah, a fake romance where this guy gets the chick? No, cares. After a couple weeks, now if he would have, boom, gets the chick, wins Money in the Bank, cashes in, wins the belt. You had to do it all within a couple weeks, yeah. Otherwise, it loses its fire. So
while it was hot, exactly, yeah. And we had to also the Mysterios were looking. So Aaliyah is finally good, and Ray's still he doesn't shower, he doesn't change the shirt. Dominic doesn't even change his shirt either. So they keep looking at this match. I kind of like the only part that was legit is see when Buddy Murphy came in. Because you didn't know what was he gonna do or who was he in favor to. See right there and Otis was dominating at the beginning. I like that. How Seth Rollins was chopping him. He was kind of getting to put him down, and then Otis will do the comeback. When he's oh yeah, and then
he's bouncing and shaking the belly.
Oh yeah, and you see the movies. Yeah, legit. That was good. But then, of course, Murphy starts at kind of helping out Rollins and distracts who? Otis. So that opens the door for a super kick, and then the stomp.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3, and done. But see, Rollins is really?
Done.
Is he helping me out? Is it legit? Is legit, and yeah, it was legit. So Rollins makes, he's probably going to be the captain of Team SmackDown. So I mean, like I said, outside of him. Kevin Owens is good. Baron Corbin, terrible. Jey Uso just is there because the storyline with Roman. Yeah. So we go to the back jump pole, and then we get to see again, kind of Murphy presenting his loyalty to Seth Rollins one more time, and it's this kind of looks a little
forbidden
disturbing for me. This look a little disturbing, Messiah and disciple and all of that, but the picture didn't do any justice. So he's we're back again, and he's really happy and everything. And then you see the jealous girlfriend, Aaliyah, right? Jean Paul is what the hell is that? What the hell is that?
Yeah, she's like, whoa, why'd you help him? Why did you help him? And then he's like, oh no, Seth is legit. He's gonna look out for us. And it's so.
And he's remember, he's you gotta trust me. You gotta trust me. We're doing this for the greater good. So I mean, like you said, the storyline is already a little.
To me, I she's got to turn heel. She's got to be all in with them and be screw you, Ray, screw you, Dominic. That's what'll sell me on it.
Oh yeah, no, she needs to have a little more edge. And it's not Adam Copeland, but be edgy, racy, and be oh, okay, I don't want to be with you guys. You guys are you're not my family anymore, because we have a storyline when somebody like Jey Uso wants to be in the family. It should be another counter story that is a girl that does want to have her own family. Mm-hmm. So, and all of you wants to be part of the Road Break family.
Exactly.
So what it is.
So click subscribe.
Yeah, please click subscribe. Exactly right. And this is what we have for now. I mean, where is this gonna go? I don't know, but it's not looking any good. Like you said, a lot of people are bashing this because of this thing that you already said before, Jean-Paul. The age difference, the age gap, and all of that. But if they complain about this, can you please complain about this one? Yeah, even he's pissed. The actor for Forbidden Films, showing the boobs, and during the interview, moving the boobs back and forth, bouncing, and I'm am I supposed to stare at the boobs or to stare at the face? And I hated this. And one more time, why are they interviewing this guy? And the one thing that you probably also mentioned, what did you say last week? The way he talks doesn't fit the character. He changed that for this week. At least I thought.
Yeah, it was a little bit better. It wasn't as long and drawn out. There was some more yelling, but it's still the same thing. He still cuts the same promo about, oh, I was bullied and all this stuff. Yeah, and I think it would just be better if he didn't talk at all.
Yeah, no, he just needs to be destroying people. Like you said, it was more, I hate bullies. I've been bullied around my whole entire life, because the way I look, the way I talk, the way I act. In school, they used to steal my lunch, Jean-Paul. My lunchbox, on Marilyn Manson, first album, my lunchbox, they used to steal it. They used to beat me up and call me freak. But when I was 13, I decided, to start working out, lifting weights, and then I gained 50 pounds in 6 months or something like that. I no more bullies, Jean-Paul. I learned to abuse. I learned to be the bully, and I love it. And I make people eat dirt, glass, and also like cups and stuff like that. And then he's like, I love it. And then he's like, are you gonna watch Road Break?
And then they're like, oh, we see that you starred in some films here, and he's like,
and they just put it in the butt, dude. Like, I mean, right there, yeah, with no lube. That's what it. When there's no lube, that's what they look. So yeah, pretty much that's what it is. Like, I don't think he needs to talk. I just think that he needs to.
I feel like they're building him up, and he's gonna go against Roman, and he's gonna lose.
Maybe, but like there is something that you said on the AEW Dynamite. There's something that you said on NXT with what you said on Pac. They're using this narrative of like Eric Young, and they're trying to use this with every single character that it goes like a freak. That it goes outside of the box, and it's not working. In this case, Eric Young is like you said, a casualty, but like Eric Young can pull it up because he's eloquent. Like he can go like between the two. He can switch back and forth, but like that is not working. He shouldn't talk. He should be destroying people. 2 weeks he hasn't wrestled. He hasn't destroyed anybody. So exactly. The freak doesn't do anything. So I just don't understand. So Jean Paul, let's go to the main event, shall we? Yes, let's get it done. With Jey Uso. Yeah, done. This was a pretty decent match. Setting up, but we knew that like Jey Uso was gonna win because like Kevin Owens, they're never pushing.
I do like the promo that KO cut before this though. How he's like, yeah, I'm my own man. I say shit that might get me in trouble, but I fight my own fights. I back it up. And he pretty much said like I'm not a little bitch who just does what I'm told. So exactly. I like the promo by before the match, and it was. Like you said, the match, it was really good, but, was Heyman going to get involved? Was Roman going to come out? Was there going to be all this bullshit? Yes. You knew that this was going to happen.
We're talking about that. Look, he's watching the whole match, of course. And the one thing, at least, is Kevin Owens was wearing, like, his shorts. So he's not wearing, at least, jeans. So that made me think that, like, last week he forgot, like, the shorts in his backpack. So he's like, so, and they're like, so... Or, like, he went, hey, John Moxley, can you give me your shorts? From the ones that you left in the locker room right here, can I use them? Oh yeah, sure, go ahead. Boom. But like, yeah, Tribal Chief is watching. Do we really care about that? No. This was good. Pop power bomb, and then Jay of course goes to the rope break. So like that was good. I mean, we have to congratulate Jay for using our show for like keep like the match going. So that was cool. But then like you said, Paul Heyman was out, and then also like the music from Roman came out, and of course, dumb babyface syndrome, right? Yeah, boom. Everybody gets distracted.
Yep, I think he will go with super kick and then the splash and then done.
And then done. Like, yeah, very much. And then a pretty bullshit super kick, even because he twists like I don't know if you saw, you see twitch like the foot, so that didn't even connect. It was just like, like it was just like...
I don't understand why like some people do it. They gotta like fucking corkscrew their leg. They can't just do it like Shawn Michaels did it. Like just kick the dude.
Or like, Adam Lucius Cole. Yeah. Like, we haven't seen him in such a long time, but it's true. Like that super kick didn't look good. I mean, Dolph Ziggler does a legit super kick. Even Kevin Owens does a good super kick. But like pretty much Jay won, and then like he went and kind of shook his hand with Paul Heyman, and then that's it. Boom. Yep. And like he's like they're allies, and he's fighting for Roman. He's gonna be like insurance policy, but like you said, he's not really acting like that. He's kind of still in that troublesome stage. Hey, am I on my own being, or am I like with Roman? So that's pretty much what we have, Jean Paul. This was the show. Not really good.
No, not good at all. Yeah, like the opening match was the best thing, but it wasn't even that great. But it was, comparing it to everything else, it was definitely the best thing on the show.
Yeah, and we need a little more than this, a little bit more effort. It felt like we don't have anything else.
Tag team division's dead. Main event scene is dead. We no Fidel.
Exactly. Like no Sami Zayn. No Bianca Belair. It's like, again, it seems to me like we don't have anything else. We're pissed because, Trump is not the president anymore. That's our body, so we don't have anything to write about. All of that. So, like, oh, you know what? Let's just say it. Only Road Break is going to cover. So, you know what? Everybody's going to go to sleep or, go out and get a drink or, do some stuff like the forbidden actor. Like he might be doing stuff, but, like, can we live? No, we can't. So, family, thank you so very much for watching this review. Thank you for the subscriptions, for all the love, support, comments. So, Jean Paul, remind everybody where they can find us in the social media world.
Or you can find us on Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, the original Rope Break on Instagram, the original Rope Break right here on YouTube, and of course our newest home, alleverythingentertainment.com.
Exactly, family. So don't forget tomorrow, Jean-Paul, AEW Full Gear. You and me talking about this great show that's supposed to be. We keep our fingers crossed because this has to be better than SmackDown. If we're going to spend 3 hours with
there's no way it can't be better than SmackDown.
Oh, hopefully. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So, family, you and me have Jean Paul. One more thing that is left to say, and that is,